The animals have been fed and watered. The chores have been done. Let's see how much I can get read in 24 hours. So I just got back from a vacation, which was absolutely lovely, but I didn't do as much reading as I wanted to get done. And I have about 30-ish books left. I have about 30-ish books left until I reach my Goodreads goal for the year. It is the middle of October, so I do still have some time. But my reading has definitely slowed down over the year, so who knows if I'll reach that goal. The focus of the next 24 hours is going to be reading as much as I can. I'm going to be sleeping, and I'll take a break to do chores and stuff like that, obviously, but other than that, reading. I haven't been reading as much, like I said, as I used to, and I'm ready to get back into it. So I have several library books that I need to get through, some of which are due like tomorrow, and others that have people waiting on them. And I hate when you open the Libby app and you see like 7 people waiting for this. Unnecessary stress. So we're gonna try to get through those books as quick as we can. I am currently 193 pages into Thistlefoot. This is like a Russian inspired fantasy, and it follows 2 siblings who end up getting bequeathed this house on chicken legs, and also the siblings have magical abilities. The brother can like mimic other people's facial features, and the sister can raise things, like make things alive. We don't know in what capacity they're alive, like do they have sentience? What's the situation? We don't know. We just know that they come to life. I am almost 200 pages in and I'm really enjoying it. We haven't really gotten to the meat and potatoes of the plot. We just know that there is someone chasing the house and they are on the run while also sort of performing like theater performances with puppets in the house to get money. So then I also have from my library Bright Young Woman. This is a book that I wanted to get to while I was on vacation, but I ended up not really being in the mood. All I know about this is that it is following a serial killer who kills celebrities, and it follows 2 women who demand answers to questions nobody else would ask. I've heard good things about this, but not a lot of buzz. Could be that I just don't watch that much book content anymore, but I'm interested to see how I'm feeling about this. This was 100% a cover pickup. I believe it's a thriller. I'm not really entirely sure. It might just be a simple mystery. And then lastly, I would like to get through the Kiss Curse, I believe is what it's called. It is the second book after the X-Hex. It is a like witchy romance series. I am 13% of the way in, and I'm not entirely sure what it is about. I haven't really looked much into it. This is the one that has like 13 people waiting on it, so I would like to get it done sooner rather than later, but the other 2 are due back to my library sooner. So those are the things that I plan on reading. Let's start the clock and we'll see how much I can get done in the next 24 hours.
Uncomplicated touch, stable as we go, consistent as we grow. I won't slow down, no need to rush. I'll say it in my dreams, strange as it may seem. I reminisce the codependence, the games that we played, lost our minds. So maybe you could stay, 'cause you got me thinking that possibly I've changed. I need slow down, yeah, the real one. I've seen it in my dreams, strange as it may seem.
Okay, it is much later. It is 9 o'clock and I haven't admittedly done a lot of reading. I got distracted by doing everything but. I read till 2 and then I ended up having to do some side business stuff. That took me till 4. And then at 4 I decided that I needed to move the furniture in my house. Then I had dinner and watched a TV show with my partner. And now here we are, back to reading. I did do a little bit of reading. I ended up getting 256 pages into Thistlefoot. And things are happening, but it's not the most riveting story. And it's, from the Goodreads reviews that I read, it's very much one of those stories that you have to read at a slow pace so you can kind of fully take in the story. And so I decided to put this down and I'll come back to it when I'm ready to be fully like invested in a world and give it the space, I guess, that it requires. And then I decided to pick up Bright Young Women, and I got 52 pages in, and this will probably be what I read until I go on to the Kiss Curse, like finish this and go on to the Kiss Curse. This is a fictional retelling of the Ted Bundy murders from the point of view of the sorority women of one of the sorority houses that he attacked. And it's like, it's obviously a fictional world, fictional accounts, and it's not actually like, the Ted Bundy name is not used. But it is as if you are reading from their point of view. So you're following Pamela. She is the president of the sorority, and one night all of the girls in the sorority go out and they go party, and then early in the morning, the next morning, she wakes up and she goes downstairs and she spots someone coming down the stairs and leaving, and he sees her but doesn't attack her or anything, and then leaves the house. And she tries to sort of convince herself that nothing's happening until she hears like screaming and things like that. And so she goes upstairs to investigate the girls, make sure everybody's okay, and she finds several of them injured and or dead. She doesn't know that they're dead at first, and so we get into the story. And I think reading it from this point of view is really interesting because the Ted Bundy case is so much about Ted Bundy as a person that you sort of lose the story of the victims a little bit. And there's already a lot of conversations around the ways that young men are treated in situations like this, like being lied to, being coddled, not really being given full information because they're young and they're women and they're hysterical, and how the media portrays women, particularly in instances like this. So there's a lot of emphasis on like them remaining calm and not being hysterical, and her wanting them to see them a certain way so that they can be listened to. Like she says, you know, some of the girls have boyfriends. One in particular she mentions, I thought he kind of looked like him, but it ended up not looking like him. That was just my initial thought. And that's all the cops heard. They didn't hear her say anything else. And so she kind of tried to reassert, like, no, this wasn't him. Like, he didn't, and it didn't look like him, like the boyfriend, but they wouldn't listen to her anymore. And so she was trying to behave and get the girls to behave in a way that would make them seem more believable so that they would actually be listened to. And it's just been a lot so far in the 52 pages. It's very dry. The way it reads is very dry, and it's very much like this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened. There's really not much room for emotional description. So it kind of just lays out the events and then you're forming your own opinion. 373 pages. I'm gonna try to finish it tonight so that I can get through the Kiss Curse tomorrow, and see if I can get through any more of Thistlefoot. But I'm definitely enjoying this. It was a little bit tough to get into at first, but I'm fully into it now. So we're gonna spend the rest of the night reading and see how far we can get in, maybe halfway, and then pick it up again tomorrow morning. made a grave mistake starting a 24-hour reading challenge a day after I got back from vacation, because I have just been slammed with things to do around the house and I haven't done much reading. So I did end up managing to finish Bright Young Women this morning. It's like maybe 11 o'clock-ish now. This was okay. I don't think that true crime / fictional books based on true crimes is really my thing. I'm beyond that era in my life, I think. And so because I was familiar with this case, I don't really much care about fiction stories that are just about people living. Stories of the victims of this serial killer, their childhoods and their backstories and things like that. And I don't really care about contemporary fiction unless it's romance. Unless it's centered around a romantic relationship. That's just not really the kind of stories I like to read. I have come across some lit fic in the past that I have enjoyed, but it's not like this. The language is very concise. It's not very emotional. It is sort of just a telling of events, like I mentioned previously, and you're made to form your own opinions. I don't like that. If I'm going to be reading a literary fiction novel, I want something deeply emotional, and that's just kind of this wasn't it. It's not the book's fault, obviously. 3 stars for the book. It did what it intended to do, but my actual enjoyment just wasn't there. So if you were looking for a true crime fiction book, like a fiction book that reads like a true crime book, but you don't want the ickiness of true crime, check this out. And now I think I'm going to start reading The Kiss Curse. I read a little bit of it this morning, and I'm like 4 chapters in or something like that. This is that witchy romance that I was telling you about. It is about a woman who lives in the same town as the girl from the first one. Like, obviously this all takes place around a college-centered town. She runs a potions shop or something like that by herself, and I don't know 100% if she works at the college or not, but the hero is the brother of Reese from the first one, and him and the heroine have sort of like a bad history. She definitely doesn't like him. We haven't really gotten from his point of view how he feels about her, but he lives back in Wales and he runs a bar. And in the beginning of the book, like the chapter that I just read from his point of view, we see his dad complaining about the fact that their hold, the Penhallow hold in Wales and also back in, I think it's Vermont, aren't very strong, because Reese is not like contributing, I guess, in the way that he wants to the Penhallow hold in Vermont. And the hero says, you know, I'll go back to Vermont and assert my dominance or whatever. I don't really know the plot of the book. I'm just now getting into it, so it's kind of what I'm in the mood for. I was all for witchy romances like a week ago, and then I sort of fell off of it. Now I'm back on it, so I'm probably gonna read that until, I really didn't start reading until like 4, but I'll probably end this at like 2-ish. So I'm probably gonna read for a couple more hours, and then we'll come back and talk about what I ended up finishing. I'm sorry this hasn't been like the most, I don't know, reading filled or interesting vlog, but I guess this is like 24 hours of just being with me, I guess. So we'll talk a little bit later on how much I've gotten through The Kiss Curse. Okay friends, we are 25 hours into this 24-hour readathon, and it's time to wrap things up. I got 25% into The Kiss Curse, which is 58 pages. And I'm enjoying it. It's fun. They have had their like meet cute, I guess. There was some insults thrown back and forth, and I'm sort of seeing where the plot is going to go, and I'm enjoying it. But I will put on the screen right here how many pages I ended up reading. I really hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you comment down below your thoughts on anything that I read. What you read this weekend, I would love to know, or what you've read recently that you really loved, I would love to know. Make sure you follow all my socials linked down in the description. Consider subscribing if you like content like this, and I will catch you guys in my next one. Thanks so much for watching.